Welcome back, everybody. Here we are with issue 79. So let's go ahead and go through this. We're going to start off with the H-2 Executive Shuttle. That the H-2 Executive Shuttle was designed for the elite was perhaps made most clear by the limitations when compared to other cheaper but more serviceable craft. Designed and built by Slane and Corporal, and brought into service during the second year of the Clone Wars, the H-2 could not safely leave the atmosphere of a planet, operate in the vacuum of space, or survive re-entry. It was joked that only the elite could afford to keep such an expensive shuttle that could not even get them off-world. Slane and Corporal certainly knew how to cater for their audience. They knew that the galaxy's rich and famous tended to be impatient and liked their ships fast. The H-2 was fast, but crucially was also fitted with large, rapid-start turbojet engines, perhaps perfect for getting away from the celebrity stalkers or journalists. Then, while speeding off, those aboard could take in the passing scenery through the shuttle's ring of large viewports or choose to retreat to the more private, enclosed space in the rear. The shuttle's design team was also aware that its target audience liked to personalize their vehicles, so left its standard factory model open to modification. Secure Shuttle. With its high-profile target audience in mind, Slane and Corporal gave the H-2 shuttle the option of polarized windows, making it impossible for anyone to see in from the outside. Along with its shields, this made it difficult for an assassin to figure out the exact position of any target within. For further protection, such uh, individuals could travel in the windowless rear compartment, as was done by the likes of Separatist Senator Mina Bonteri, while some owners added additional security features Chancellor Palpatine did not. We'll talk about the Senate Commandos real quick. Highly trained Senate Commandos acted as the personal guard of the Chancellor, accompanying him wherever he went, and their ranks included skilled pilots, one of whom gave his life while attempting to fly Palpatine to safety in one of the Senate's H-2 shuttles. Later, the Senate Commandos would be replaced by the anonymous units of the Red Guard, with pilots from their ranks just as loyal and ready to do their duty. Elite customers, elite specs. Standard H-2 came with a central pilot's seat up front and 4 rather luxurious passenger seats just behind it. Behind them was a large open area where passengers could stand or where their luggage, which could include light speeder bikes or other small recreational vehicles, could be stored. All of the internal space, like the appearance of the exterior, was fully reconfigurable at or after purchase, and different owners made their own decisions as to the aesthetics and layout. For example, Senator Mina Bonteri of the Separatist Parliament had a maroon-colored shuttle with permanently blacked out windows. This was a security measure designed to prevent potential assassins from easily identifying and targeting those within. Bonteri traveled exclusively in the rear compartment of her shuttle, fitting this section out accordingly, and the wings of her shuttle tipped up just before landing. Rush Clovis had his H-2 shuttle decorated in gold and gray and upgraded the shielding, but otherwise left it unchanged from factory standard. So this here, that is Senator Mina Bonteri, or what's her name? Bonteri. That's her shuttle there, so you can see the maroon in it. Get some of the glare off of there so you can see it. So there. One of the things that the majority of end users altered were the access ramps. These extended out from just below the main hatches on either side of the ship, which swung up out of the way when required, but were considered too steep by many. You can see how steep that is. As Chancellor Palpatine had kept a small number of shuttles on Coruscant for himself and his staff, but after the rise of the Empire, these were quickly phased out and replaced by the Sanar fleet's Lambda-class models, with conspicuous consumption frowned upon in the new age of authoritarian rule, which even extended to the members of the Imperial Senate. Much of the market for the flashy H-2 Executive Shuttle evaporated, and the line was eventually discontinued. Security measures. On the recommendation of his security staff, Chancellor Palpatine had an escape route planned that took him quickly from his office to a dock where a pair of H-2 shuttles stood ready to carry him and his staff to safety. In case danger flared up at any moment, a Senate commando pilot was on call whenever Palpatine was in the building. On one occasion, when a Xylo beast brought to Coruscant from Malastare broke free and ran riot on the galactic capital, Palpatine's escape strategy didn't go according to plan. Unfortunately for the Chancellor and the people with him, particularly the pilot, the Xylo beast caught the shuttle as it took off, crushing it in its powerful grip. Though the Chancellor ultimately escaped unharmed, the vehicle was destroyed. So that's what they mentioned down here in the Senate Commando section. Our behind-the-scenes movie star part. The rampage of the Xylo Beast through Coruscant could be seen as an affectionate tribute to one of the greatest movie monsters of all time, the fearsome Godzilla star of innumerable Japanese creature features, as well as two big-budget Hollywood films. The mock movie poster below was created to promote the Clone Wars episode The Xylo Beast Strikes Back and perfectly apes the sensationalized style of the original Godzilla movie posters. There were other Godzilla references slipped in to the previous episode where the Xylo Beast first appeared, including clone pilots with Godzilla and Rodan decorations on their helmets. There you go. Carlac, Frozen Outer Rim World. The Outer Rim plays host to a number of frozen worlds with Megiddo and Hoth being perhaps the best known. However, while these two planets' familiarity stems directly from their roles played in galactic-wide conflicts, the Clone Wars in the case of Megiddo and in the Galactic Civil War for Hoth, when it was the location for the Rebel Alliance Echo base. Carlac, by contrast, uh, has enjoyed a life of almost complete anonymity for most of its existence. This resulted in a peaceful, quiet life for most of the world and its native inhabitants, the Ming Po, although the peace was for a short time to be broken when the Mandalorian splinter group, Death Watch, came to Carlac at the height of Clone Wars. So, just so you know, basically the Mandalorian TV show, uh, that group is kind of a splinter of Death Watch. So that's kind of important to note. Carlac is widely covered by forest, with tall, sharp mountains protruding upward from the treetops at intervals. Seen, seen from above, the canopy of trees catches the snow to form a blanket of glistening white, speckled with the red of any foliage that manages to withstand the icy temperatures. The planet's settlements and townships are made up of rustic buildings designed primarily to keep out the cold climate. With the Mingpo comparatively low technology people, much of the architecture features natural materials with wooden frames holding stone-tiled roofs, which were made wide and thick to enable them to stand up to the heavy snowfall and strong winds common to the world. The Mingpo themselves were a peaceable people, seemingly content to forego the technological advances of the wider galaxy in exchange for a quiet life, although some droids are seen in Carlac villages, a diminutive people. They dressed in decorative robes, and the painted symbols on their faces are reminiscent of many ancient cultures. Mingpo society was based on clans, with each town or village having a chieftain as a leader. Carlac's only experience of any galactic conflict was brief but bitter. The remote world was chosen when a discreet meeting place for two aggrieved parties targeting revenge against the separatist leader Count Dooku was sought, with one of the parties establishing a camp just outside of Carlac's principal settlement, Mingpo Town. Unfortunately for the inhabitants, that party was Death Watch, the notoriously warlike Mandalorian splinter group. True to form, the members of Death Watch conducted a brutal campaign of oppression, taking many local Mingpo women as slaves, including the daughter of Mingpo Town's chieftain, Pai Tar. When Chieftain Pai Tar confronted Pre Vizsla, the Death Watch leader, to request his town's women to be freed, Death Watch marched on Mingpo Town and slaughtered the chieftain's daughter in front of him. Pre Vizsla then gave the order to destroy the town, which his troops did using their flamethrowers. Only the intervention of a Jedi saved the people of Mingpo Town from complete annihilation. Carlac's fate beyond this unhappy encounter with the wider galaxy is unknown. Ice Worlds. From the frozen home of Rebel Alliance Echo Base on Hoth in The Empire Strikes Back to the snow-swept mountains of the planet that gave home to the First Order's Starkiller base in The Force Awakens, there have been many famous frozen worlds featured in Star Wars universe. Other notable ice worlds include Ilum, to which Jedi initiates must travel to perform an ancient rite of passage known as the Gathering, and Maigito, where the renowned Jedi Master Ki Adi Mundi met his end after the issuing of Order 66. By comparison, Carlac plays a fairly minor role in the course of galactic history, though the destruction of Mingpo Town helped to further paint Death Watch as ruthless killers. So if you ever played Star Wars The Old Republic, which is the online MMO, you would be familiar with Ilum. They also mention Ilum in Clone Wars, actually go there. So Ilum's pretty cool. I believe it's been mentioned in other places as well, mostly in the expanded universe. But yeah, pretty cool. That's all of the parts for this issue. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. When we begin in the next episode of building, we'll put this part on, get the light put in place and all that kind of stuff, and you'll get to see how we do that. So with that, I will see you in the next episode of the building, and we'll probably break out the parts for issue 80 as well when we get to it. All right, thank you very much, everybody, for watching, and may the Force be with you always.